Happy November, everybody. Just 2 more months until the end of the year. So, what is your goal for the end of the year? How are you going to make these next 60 days or less the best days of your life? Let's talk setting our intention on today's Dear Single Women's podcast. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Dear Single Women's podcast. This podcast is for single women who are healing, growing, living, and loving their lives on their terms. If you're new here, thank you for listening in. Please give me a follow, subscribe, anything you could do to support this podcast and to get it out to other women just like you. So today I'm going to talk to you about setting your intention. And I know with the title, what's the intention or what's your intention? It's easy to think that I'm talking about in relationships. I'm not. So if I'm disappointing anybody, I'm sorry. But I am going to talk about that in a future episode. Probably title it Knowing Your Why, because it is important to know your why, to know why you want a relationship. What are you really looking for? What are you hoping to get out of this? How will this experience enrich your life? Yes, it's as simple as I want love, but even that, there's something behind it. So I think knowing your why is very important. And that changes with age, that changes with more life experiences. So even if you've done that exercise, I would encourage you to revisit it when I post that future episode. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. Today I'm going to talk about you and your intention for the next 60 or less days till the end of the year. There's a reason that I say that this podcast is for women who are healing, growing, living, and loving their lives on their terms, because I want you to center yourself in relationships. Once we start talking about men and other things, it can be so easy to forget you. But we are single women who want relationships, but I never want you to forget yourself, deny yourself, decenter yourself, because you are the constant in all of your relationships. And it's important for you to know you. So one way you can do this is to set your intention. I'm doing a self-care November bingo with my friends on Instagram. If you want to get in, please hit me up. I'm at Nubian, Nubian _ Nintra, Nintra. I already spoke to the person who created the bingo board and told her, please do one for December, because I'm going to do it again. I'm going to get some more friends in. I'd love to get you in. If you listen to this podcast, you're my friend. So hit me up on Instagram. Let's get in. It's a beautiful way just to center yourself. Take time for yourself. Be thoughtful about where you are in the month. Sometimes there's so much going on where our head is in the clouds. We're living elsewhere. And I think taking time to feel your feet on the ground and remind yourself that yes, you're planning for the future, you're thinking about the future, but you're also a present living being, is a healthy way to do it. And so there are things on that board that help you to do that. One of the things was to set your intention for the next 60 days, which would be until the end of the year, 2024. And I wanted to do this one. I did this yesterday. So I wanted to talk to you guys about it. Hopefully this is something that you can do today. So I had to look up, I know what setting an intention is, but since I wanted to really give this the thought and attention that it deserves, I went and Googled it. So here's the first thing that comes up for setting intention meaning. It says setting intentions is the act of stating what you intend to accomplish through your actions. And then there's more, but that was the part that was highlighted. That's the part I really dwelled on and thought about. So this is action oriented. What are you going to do to get what you hope to accomplish before January 1st, 2024? I wrote this out, typed it up, printed it because I'm going to put it on my wall, because I actually don't just want to set the intention. I want to be intentional about doing it. So here are mine. Hopefully this will help you and support you in building your intentions. Here are my intentions. One of them, I said, grow my relationship with God on an even deeper level. And in parentheses, I put upward trajectory. So I'll briefly go through these and tell you why they're my intentions. I've seen my relationship with God grow in these past couple of months. I want to continue that upward trajectory. I want it to go even deeper. That's big, to be able to actually see that tremendous growth is and not just like I'm a believer, I go to church, I do this, but like actually seeing like, wow, it got on a deeper level these past 2 months. I want to keep that going. I want to say in 2 months, in the next 60 days, wow, look at even deeper from 4 months ago. Look where I am now. So that's my intention. I wrote solidify the new me / starve old bad habits. Definitely a big one. I've grown so much. This year has been like the best year of my life, and I'll say that to anybody. Like not because like I won $1 million, I got married, and honestly, I'm grateful in a way, because I would easily put it on those things and not like just those real changes and growth and healing that I saw in myself while living an everyday regular life. So I'm actually grateful that those things don't overshadow the growth that I've seen. My intention for the next 60 days is to solidify that in me. And I still see old things in me that come up that do need to change. Like not resting or feeling like I have to earn my rest, feeling guilty for resting, or other things I've seen within myself. I want to starve those bad habits, because they are habits. They've been developed for a long time. I would definitely want to get rid of them. So that's another one. Solidify the new me, starve old bad habits. Here's the next one. My intention for the next 60 days. I just wrote as many as I could fit on one page, because I'm a little OCD like that. I didn't really want to look at 2 pages. I just wanted everything I could fit on one landscape printed page. So 3, begin to heal my rejection wounds and love addictive qualities to my love. Again, just being vulnerable, being real. I have struggled with this a lot in my life, being rejected a lot, and I have wounds that I know about, but I want to really be intentional about healing that for these next 60 days. And I always throw in my love addictive qualities, because although I have gotten a lot better in that area because I was intentional, if you want to go back and listen to, I can't remember what the name of the episode was, but where I talk about your love language as well as your attachment style, please listen to that episode about love addiction. I read that book. I recommend it to you guys, Healing Love Addiction, and it's helped me a lot. So, but in this past engagement I had with this guy, I noticed that it did start to come out a little bit. So I still want to work on that. But what came out for me more was the rejection wounds. I want to affirm myself in kindness by shifting the inner critical voice. And then I wrote, my voice will hug me. I've recently started doing this. My inner voice is very critical. And something I learned from the Exodus Summit 2023 conference was that you need to ask yourself, whose voice is that? Because it's not yours. Maybe it's your parents' voice. Maybe they were critical when you were a child. Maybe it's that old teacher's voice who you could just never get an A, never do anything right. Maybe it's your ex-boyfriend's voice. Maybe it's that frenemies voice. Maybe it is the pressures that you put on yourself because, like me, maybe you were a people pleaser and you felt that the only way you could get love from people is to do and be your absolute best at every time. So you filtered through them, put that pressure on yourself so that you could receive their love. Because maybe they never made you feel like, I love you for you and not for what you do. And so you're like, well, I want maximum level of love, so I need to do the absolute best at everything. And so your voice became critical when you didn't do that, because you're human and no one can be perfect all of the time. Maybe your voice comes from that. Maybe it's that voice. Well, my intention, if that's you, maybe you want to put this on your list. I want to affirm myself in kindness. And what's my action? I'm going to shift that critical inner voice that is there. My voice will be like a warm hug to me. So no more, why did you do that? That wasn't right. You could have did better. Yeah, those things may be true, but instead of saying that, I'm going to say, you're not perfect. You made a mistake. God forgives you, and I forgive you. And I'm going to talk to myself, even that shift in my tone. I want my voice to be like a hug when I hear it. I don't want to hear the critic. So that's something I'm going to work on. Also, I have become more trustworthy to myself by relying on God's promises of wisdom and discernment. Now, if you haven't listened to the past few episodes, maybe you don't know where that comes from. But if you have, you do. If you know, you know. I got to build up my trust in myself again. And then on that note, here's my next intention. Actively lean into the trust I give myself, because I am working on building up my trust in myself again. Now I need to lean into it, right? Now I need to start going for it 1,000%. I need to bet on myself 1,000%. So immediately something don't feel right to me, it's not right. Not, oh, well, you sure you're not just being a little too judgmental? You sure you're not just, you don't want to ruin a good thing? You don't know what God could be doing. Nobody you got to work with. No. Especially when it comes to relationships. Because trust me, I saw things. But I didn't lean into that trust. Talk myself out of it. And then at the end, I was like, girl, you was right. So I want to actively lean into the trust that I give myself. I got to build that up in me. I see something, it's a red flag, period. I don't care. If my discernment was off and I lost a good thing, then whatever. That's not what God had for me, because I'm not going to stop trusting myself where I second guess everything and that turns out I was right. No. So actively lean into the trust you give you. These are mine, and I'm encouraging y'all, but yeah, that's my heart, that's my spirit, because I love that. I love encouraging other people, and I want them to grow in the ways that I have grown. I've seen how this has all benefited me, and I want that for you guys too. So I can't help but turn it back around to you, but lean into your trust. All right, I also wrote develop a peaceful environment by decluttering my bedroom and linen closets. I've done good with some closets. I got to work on the others because it creates stress. Can't find anything. This is practical. It's stressful. So I just immediately took my vibe that was up here and brought it down because I can't find what I need in that closet. No, my intention is to create joy, spark joy, cultivate joy, keep joy and peace in my Next 60 days, and the 60 days after that, and the 60 days after that. One practical way: declutter your house. If you want more info on that, let me know, because again, I attended the Exodus Summit conference and learned some very practical decluttering methods. That was great. On that note, engage in experiences that spark joy, and I put joy in capital letters. Your time matters. You don't have to engage in anything that doesn't make you happy, that doesn't spark joy in your life. I believe that for everything, okay? And, I know the push back from, I gotta work, I gotta eat, do you have to work that job? It's not sparking joy. It's stressing you out. Do you have to do that job? Because your girl quit her job because it wasn't sparking joy in her life anymore. So trust me, I will put my money where my mouth is. I want you and me, this is mine, so I'm going to engage in experiences that spark joy in my life. And I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. There's actually something going on next week. Can't really tell you about it, but I'm hoping that I can go with my friend and we're going to have a blast. All right, another one. Create things that align with who I am. Get back to my why. I've lost that in a lot of the things I'm creating. It's like I forgot why I was even doing this, and it wasn't sparking joy. And realizing it aligns with me, and that's what makes it joyful. Like, I want to get back into that. Develop a meditation practice, because my mind is always everywhere. If you're like that, you're the overthinker, you're the overanalyzer, you're like really are always trying to be 2 steps ahead because you've been trained that way, or you're just anxious, you're an anxious personality type, or you maybe have an anxiety disorder. Whatever your thing is, meditation can really help with that. I got to learn more about this. I don't have a meditation practice. I don't really know practically how to do that. And so that is why that's on my intention for the next 60 days. I have here 2 more. Naturally display my value to myself and others around me by being me authentically. That really spoke to me because I am valuable as I am. You are valuable as you are. I need to naturally display that just by being me. Sometimes I could get in my head, as I'm going out more, meeting new people, I could get in my head about, do they like what they see? Do they like how I am? How do we interact as people? Or am I sometimes too much? And things like those stupid thoughts. But I know that I provide value as I am. So if I change who I am, I'm no longer providing the unique value that I provide to a person or to a situation, to a group. Same for you. The answer to that, if you struggle with that, is just to be authentically you. And affirm yourself that who you are provides value to yourself and to others. And so if you're not being authentically you, you will not provide that value to its maximum benefit. So just remind yourself about that. Be intentional about doing that. As I'm going out and engaging in experiences that spark joy, I have to remind myself that I need to be naturally and authentically me. And my last one, heal poor relationships in my life and develop positive ones through prayer and fasting. This is a big one. It's come up for me a lot recently where I've just like, wow, the quality of my relationships are pretty poor. They don't feel balanced. Sometimes I don't feel like things are being reciprocated or whatever you want to call it. And this has been a lifelong thing along with the rejection. And so for me, I want to really get into prayer about this, fasting about this. I really want God to heal that area, but I want to pray to understand. I want to pray to change. I want to pray to develop healthy relationships in my life. Like, even just getting a vision of what does that even look like for you? What does it look like to have a quality relationship with your mother, with your friends, with a man? What does that look like for you? I know what it looks like for me and God, but I realize like I kind of don't really have a clear vision of what that looks like for me and others. And I want to be intentional about fixing that because, like I said, it's been a lifelong issue and I don't want it to continue anymore. It's got to go. There's no room for it in this new version of my life. The me today, there's no room for that for the me today. And so while you make your intentions and go to live them out, just be prepared for the shifts that's going to happen. Be prepared for things that will no longer fit, things that won't make sense anymore. Just be prepared for that and be okay with it. Embrace it because you have changed. And so since you have changed for the better, you're not going to fit in certain things anymore. And that is okay. That's okay. Please take some time within the next few days to set your intention for the rest of the year. And I'll see you next time on the Dear Single Women's podcast.